Let's. Oh, the bar at the bottom's moving.
Is that good?
Well, that tends to mean it's next to the microphone, so I think that means that we've got sound.
All right. Okay.
Right, so we shall leave that on. It's in about the right place. That'll do. Oh, God. So you managed to get out and pick everybody up that you had to Saturday?
Yeah.
Keep out of the way of the camera. It's scary with Halloween anyway, without me getting in the way of the camera.
Tickets are looking all right. Saturday, Sunday.
Are they?
Yeah. There's just one of the East blocks that's in green that they've just released. So East 3.
Right, I don't think they're releasing one or
two
because
they're using them for comps, aren't they?
Yeah,
and there is a camera up there. I saw that yesterday.
Have they already?
Back of these two.
Yeah, I know that.
And they put a camera right at the front of West 7, which might restrict some views. It might not. I don't know.
Oh, well,
I suspect if the stand, sometimes you never, if the stand goes right to the end of the pitch, it won't restrict views.
Yeah.
I've never really noticed it. I absolutely goes right to the end.
Don't know. I just sit there every week.
But they popped up in no time. I'd come in for the tours, had a look round just to check everywhere was okay.
I forgot that was yesterday.
Went back.
Mm.
I did the second of the 2 tours, and all of these structures are up. They weren't there that morning, but they were up there, and everybody had packed up. Whoever had done them had packed up and got home.
I know that Pete was saying that the talent is in early on Sunday to do test rehearsals and stuff. So
in right.
Yeah.
Well, I've got some stuff from our Danny to get. To sign again because he's over in flipping Chicago or somewhere. I don't know.
Oh yeah. He's over with his son, isn't he? Watching weird things.
Yeah, I have no idea who it is he watches. It's about the fact that it's wall to wall about it, and I don't know. Apparently, Callum likes Chicago Bulls, so they've got to go back to watch them at some stage. I don't even know what they do. Are they football?
No. They're
basketball. Rounders.
It could be something.
Might be. I don't know. Might be rounders.
It's one of those, isn't it? Right. Okay. Let me go on here and I have muted that. Let me just see. It might be horribly. Yes.
Oh.
That's live. It's all right. I was just going on to make sure that it is live and it is working. We're a few minutes early.
Yeah,
so
I've got a timer on to buzz that when it should be about right to go live.
Yeah, I just wanted to put it, and I can't stop it before. So we've got 3 other people watching already. So good evening. We're just, I was just making sure all the equipment worked after last time. So Dale Shaw says he can hear us loud and clear.
Oh, we're not even gone on live yet.
Well, I had
to watch what we say, Mark.
Yeah, I put it on live because I needed to put it on live. So smashing, great, Dale. Thank you. I was just about to type that out and ask if anybody could hear us. So that's wonderful. Be even better if I could find what I've just done with the chat box. Okay, show chat. That tends to help, doesn't it? Oh, I'm so tired. Show chat. That tends to help, doesn't it? Oh, I'm so tired. You're watching as well.
Do you know what? Just sitting down watching some empty seats. It's quite therapeutic. Just sitting down watching some empty seats. Quite therapeutic. Is that you doing all that squeaking, aren't it?
No, it's because it's feedback because you're so close to the
Amazing.
stream. But we'll get there. Okay, so cool. We're well over. Who's okay?
I can't say any of these. What we're supposed to do if it's genuine a tick, I think it might be. Pretend one of those.
Yeah, I don't think it is. I think Mr. Musk would have a little tick there. That's the family's tea should have been delivered. Get more of the room in.
I was just sent a message about lots of antique furniture and another appointment on Monday. I said, oh, sounds like your pit next one of you things.
Yeah. Oh, don't. My dog caught his claw, one of his claws, and it broke. But to try and get that, to snip it off, and he was just in a lot of pain because it was hanging off and wouldn't let me go anywhere near it. And it's apparently because it's our nails aren't attached to the bone, but their nails are part of the bone, even though it still grows. It's very odd. But it took 3 of us to hold him down. It's only a small thing to be able to snip it off and then dip it in this antibiotic powder. And then I had to put a little bandage on it that lasted. It lasted overnight.
Yeah.
I got told to give him a 75 milligram aspirin.
What, like a human aspirin?
Yeah, because that's.
Aspirin, you say.
Yeah. They give them.
Well, that's not very much, is it?
No, it's 75 one's the one that they tend to give you if you've had heart problems and to sort of keep you ticking along. It's sort of a low dose one. But it helped him. He seemed to be quite happy. The bandage lasted until the next day. And I'd got a little socky, funny little.
Chris Martin, I had the first meeting with Chris Martin about doing his biography yesterday. We were talking about his childhood. He said he went home from school one day with an 8. He got home. He wasn't very old.
Yeah.
He got home and had the kids' paracetamol or whatever it is, but it used to taste quite nice.
Yeah.
And he said I had a couple of them and it didn't work, so I had some more. And before I had on the entire pack.
Oh no.
And then his sister came home with that 8. He said, "Oh, have you got some of the whatever they call junior aspirin?"
Yeah.
And there were none left. Where have they all gone? And Chris, he said, "They tired of them all." And so the dog's eaten them. So they're all fretting about this dog and everything along those lines. And we're calling vets and all sorts of bits and bobs like that. In the end, he said he admitted he said I'd had him, so he ended up in hospital having his stomach pumped.
Oh, yeah. Thing is, it would have cost a lot more to have the dog stomach.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah, absolutely. They're not cheap dogs.
No.
Hey, I got your first choice of seats, look. Oh, yeah. You have to go where the camera is.
It's on everybody. I've managed to manoeuvre it so it should get everybody now. So.
Can I bring something up from 2 meetings ago?
Well, as long as it's not a chocolate biscuit. Yeah.
It's about.
Bring what you like. Yeah, of course, yeah.
I don't know what it mentioned last time, but we weren't here last time.
Right. Yeah, what you like.
That's what we're here for.
London now. I was telling somebody else who went to London now the other day, but they didn't go up the Great Hill. They didn't go up the cable
No,
cars.
we went. It was equivalent Thursday.
Yeah.
Last month.
Oh, yeah, I was trying to think. Oh, who was it that went? I said, did you go up the cable car? So no, a bit windy. Yeah, they went up the train thing. There's a train bus or whatever that goes up the Great Hill.
Oh, the tram.
Tram, that's it. Tram, I knew it was something. I've not been since I was 10 or 11 to London now.
Yeah.
Hello.
Neat tidy.
Yeah, with a new monster and that extension.
Oh, no, wow. Because we're all supposed to call it Handino now.
Yeah.
So we're all supposed to call snow now, but I think everybody calls it snow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's the Welsh name now, isn't it? And the Brecon Beacons aren't the Brecon Beacons anymore.
And I've been to
Yeah, they are. Nobody knows what they are, so it's still
been to a slate mine at the bottom of Snowdon.
Festiniog.
Possibly.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Railway, isn't it?
It's a few years ago now. And
Slate quarry.
yeah, and they showed you what, and they had costumes and things like that. I think we came away with a bit of slate each as well.
There's plenty of it go around.
Well, only a little bit. And I got attacked by the mountain goats.
Yeah. You walk up around.
No, well, we drove half up it. There was a road up there, and we would just watch the train going up.
Well, we went for a drive around the Peter Street on Sunday, which was a lovely day.
Yes.
And at this time of year, everything thinks it's a really nice Sunday. It might be the last one of the before the winter sets in, so everybody goes out on that. And we drove past Mantor, and you could just see a snake of people going at Mantor. There's no gaps, right from Castleton all the way up to the top. And then when we drove around it, all the way up the other side as well. It was incredible. I can remember going past Thorpe Cloud once and seeing exactly the same at Thorpe Cloud. But that's the first time I've ever seen it like that in Mantor. So, and I tell you what, if you count, there'd have been a lot of people because it's a long way up.
Yeah.
And there was no gaps at all.
No.
So, I've never been up Mantor. I've been at Thorpe Cloud.
Yeah. No.
A couple of years ago, we were on a holiday in Belgium, in Flanders, right down the southeast of Belgium. And we went to a restaurant on the menu. It sort of said, the highest restaurant in Flanders. I thought, well, there's only one, isn't there? There's only one highest restaurant in Flanders. And then they mistakenly put that it was 165 metres above sea level, which is about the equivalent of Thought Cloud. And I thought, that's not really all that high, is it? But nevertheless, it's the highest restaurant in Flanders. Yeah. So I thought, well, I'd have left the meterage off. Because we're in the middle of the country, you don't know. You can't tell how high you are.
No.
Like, still nobody ever quite gets their head around the highest ground above sea level in England's West Brom.
Yeah.
It's not up a mountain, is it?
No. Port Vale's quite close to it, aren't they?
Well, rest assured, it's not up a mountain. But as somebody who used to like the when I was a kid, down on that evening, that south west Birmingham side on the railway line was a long run up called the Licky Incline that just goes on forever, and it's not like that, but it goes straight, and it runs for a long time. So you think, that plateau's obviously quite high. Because they used to put a locomotive on the front and the back when it took the Licky. They're all savvy enough to know
that railway on Saturday, weren't we?
Yeah. Well, probably the only time I was been sent by the railway, it didn't run to Kiddie at that point. It was just British enough to Bugler. They were building the Kiddie bridge, so they were getting it ready. But that's the first time I've seen it at Kiddie. Benno was telling me there was a 1940s West Ham town programme, what we told them £100 the other day.
It was 47-48 season when the Supporters Club also issued a programme. That was the postponed match in February was up for sale, and the match that was played in April. The April one I bought it because it was the only one I was missing, which I was lucky when I paid £200 for it.
Yeah.
The Supporters Club issue went for £7.20, and the postponed issue went for £12.20. I bought it last year for £50.
Was it you? Were you the vendor?
No.
Oh, you a different variety.
It was somebody in Colchester selling up to the West Ham. Paid anything against from 40s against West Ham, Millwall, Spurs, Leeds, Man United, and that.
The collectors ones.
You are battling big money collectors. I did bid on these supporters. I wasn't prepared to go that time. But
For an unofficial.
Didn't have a chance anyway. I mean, its starting price of £199.99. It was still that with one bid on it, 4 seconds left.
Was that they were all on eBay?
Yeah.
Because there were some at a sale room auction.
Yeah, the Manchester United one from 46.7 went on there for a few weeks ago.
No, there's one this week. A sale room with some Chesterfield stuff in.
Yeah,
I pointed it out to him. Don't know what it was. I didn't look at it.
No, I wouldn't. I can't remember who it is. But I don't know which it is. So I only. Evening. Yes, thank you. Yeah.
It was the generic sale room.
Yeah.
I did a search on Chesterfield. 7,358 settings.
Yeah.
Program.
I don't collect. I do collect earlier stuff, but Chesterfield Oaks the only seriously, including 2 postponements of only 8 short to have it off.
Yeah. Still money for that.
It is, but, like you say, once you're up against collectors of big things like that,
If there's anyone they're missing or something.
Yeah, you're in a completely different league.
Well, we were pleased with what we got the medal for. 35.
Yeah.
It's
We got a
working
bottom estimate,
today.
which was probably reserved, but it might not have been. And we offered the vendor top estimate.
Yeah, because I couldn't get it to
We
work.
draw it and it didn't.
I tried unplugging it.
Yeah, well, that's.
I tried.
Well, the thing is, they'll see us.
It just
They won't think, well, there's no collectors in Chesterfield. You know, and therefore
I tried at the weekend and it got.
I mean, basically, I'll pick up anything interesting, Chesterfield-wise, with some programs at right prices. I mean, there's only basically Heritage Society is going to bid on stuff like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, might be worth.
Bakewell Market.
Yeah.
He's not a Sheffield Wednesday fan, is he?
I would have turned away if it was.
Because I listened to Mark Watson today, and the lad who does the programme from the story, he's a Sheffield Wednesday fan.
He's probably the guy that runs their programme shop on Penistone Road.
Yeah, probably.
Yes, 6 programmes.
Mark got a day after.
You can pick stuff up, but it's getting on. Like I say, I've only included 2 postponed. I only need 8 open ones to complete from 45-6 to date and about 20 away. But it's, it seems everybody's chasing the same ones.
They've got to come up for sale, haven't they? They've got to come up for sale.
Yeah.
There might be hundreds of people's lots.
And to be honest,
unless they know, and then they'll often just chuck them away.
I mean, these days, even on eBay, people know what's just worth. Like I say, those 3 against West Ham for 47-48 that sold last Sunday. I mean, he knew what he was selling. I mean, his starting price for post-goal game was 300 quid.
Yeah, reflective reality. Because it's funny, if you put a reserve price on eBay, you have to pay for it. But if you put a start,
I don't use eBay to sell now because it's just ridiculous. I mean, they even charge you commission on postage. And set your postage as well. Which sometimes there's no relevance to what it's actually going to cost you.
Oh, well, that's true. That's true.
Was that your alarm to say we're ready to go?
Who's that?
Your alarm, was that?
No, that was somebody else's. I'd set it to when it was going live.
Yeah.
Still like 2:59.
Yeah, well, we've got 13 people watching already, so.
Yeah, let me know later on what the.
Yeah. And I've just said that if anybody's got any questions or suggestions, to let us know.
I came over from the Snake Pass mid-afternoon. I went too bad. There, lots of water on it, but it's the wind wasn't bad.
I had a drive over there first time for a while the other day, a couple of weekends ago. Right, ladies and gents, it is 7 o'clock now, so we will start. Thank you for coming out on a miserable Thursday evening. I'll start off with just a few notes I've had in today from the football club pertaining to the last drop-in we had October 5th. Drop-in, I know, and one was about the tannoy, and the response from the club has been a new radio mic has been purchased. It was decided that all of the speakers, for want of a better word, were A-OK. There was nothing wrong with the outputs that they were designed to do. Having had work done on them, they did work and came into, but then they were still making it very difficult to hear. So it worked out that it was the amplification getting from the microphone through the amp into the speakers, and so it's been broken down and looked at it bits and bits and bits. So a new radio mic has been purchased, and we used for the first time at the last match, with a new mixing desk also in use. So they've got a new mixing desk as well. there is an improvement in the audio, but clearly the PA system still needs looking at. Nick Johnson has spoken to us in Sheffield, who supplied the mic, and he's arranging for them to take a look at the PA system as a whole. So all the individual little bits have been looked at, and they all feel right, it's just not working as a whole. But anyway, significant work continues to go on that. It was brought up at the last meeting. Isn't here, so we can't sort of follow that one up, but I'll let you know. The question was asked from one attendee about stewards and staff in hospitality areas apparently being told to reduce their interaction with patrons. Tony Booker, who was here, said he didn't know anything about that. And the club has responded, nobody's aware that this instruction has been given out to stewards or hospitality staff. They said, can we have further information so this can be looked into? The question that was asked for it as well. Nobody's taking responsibility for that if it ever was said so. It might have just been somebody in hospitality who didn't want to talk to you anymore. Yeah. And there was an element about a tap not working in a ladies' toilet, and that's they've ordered a replacement later for it to be fixed. There's a question asked about whether supporters could attend. This is a good answer. The question was asked whether supporters could attend training sessions at the Irwin training ground. That might be future, but today the club has responded. This will be available by appointment only. Available dates will be posted out in due course. So it looks like something that every now and again they'll open that up. So that's terrific. So that's good. Just that little question has prompted that. Super. There was a question about about a sticker board. Was it you that said about a sticker board? I can't remember. It was someone said about a sticker board
for the away.
And that's going to be looked into. It was linked in with a new new heritage group being set up. I can confirm that the first meeting took place the other day, and we are trying to race in as a layer of bids from the Heritage Lottery funding that closes in November at the end of this month. We are racing to try and get a bid in there, but if it's a race, then you just put the half-hearted thing together. We'll wait until the next round comes in. So
we have bid before, haven't we? And we'll
yeah, so this will be a bid for 6 figures rather than 5 figures. Work in progress, confirmation about the communication strategy, concourse offering, tuck shop, all ongoing steps in all urinals for our smaller young gentlemen. Work has been started to put the steps in on that. One for you, Nigel. The toilets for stowaway bag users in discussion will be further updates. I don't know, I just thought that might be a bit further up.
yeah, because they don't require a lot of work or a lot of expense.
But it does sound as though there is some sort of mirror in quite a lot of them, polished stainless steel, which I keep on needing to do that a lot now. So there's ongoing situations like that. In terms of new emails received by Fore and At for this month, very quiet. Very, very, very quiet. There was one email received. We'll all the invitation will be extended, perhaps not using the same words that were sent in, because it says, would it be possible to invite the CFC's representative on the National League Management Committee to a future forum with a view of maybe extinguishing the general feeling of no confidence in said committee? We'll ask the question, phrase it differently. And then there was a question about good old green mould, which is basically somebody saying, are there any plans to clean the mould off the cladding and everything, which is particularly to the left-hand side of the main entrance as you look in. Very quickly, Paul Stankard, the supporter director, sort of said, I'm aware that somebody's thinking about that sort of thing and looking at getting somebody contracted to keep the outside clean. So I'll find out. I'm going to try and find out more from Paul about that. External thing we've had was from a supporter who had their season ticket cancelled for the York game. I shall read out the correspondence that I've had. I can remember which app it's on. I'll not reveal any names or anything along those lines. That's at this moment in an open forum, not the appropriate thing to do. But here we go. It there's more than I thought. It went quite a bit. At the last home game, I bought a sausage roll. Brave decision.
Rich man.
Yeah. It was pink when I bit to it, so I took it back. The lad behind the concourse changed it straight away for a cheeseburger. I took the top off to add the sauce, and it was stone cold. I took it back to the same lad. It was lovely and also a bit disgusted. He offered me my money back or a pint. I'm not sure which would be more expensive, a pint or a cheeseburger. I don't know. I had a pint.
Yeah.
And he said he'd come and see me at half time. He then he gave me a couple of pints, and a woman asked to speak to me. She apologised, and this is a concourse staff person. She apologised, but also said it wasn't frozen. I think this person's son had said he's frozen. The person themselves said it was cold. I think frozen was just a throwaway term as opposed to the fact that it's frozen. To be honest, I said it was stone cold. My son said it was frozen. And the member of staff allegedly called me a liar. We did have a slightly heated argument. I probably was rude, not abusive, but not abusive. I was annoyed that this had already been sorted, but she felt the need to carry it on. I never once kicked off regarding the food. I have several witnesses to all this. When I got to the ground last night, that was for the York game, so it was whatever the previous game to the York game was. When I got to the ground for the York game, my season ticket wouldn't work. I was then told to go outside and wait for security. I wasn't told why, but then two stewards stayed with me outside. The security arrived. Tad overboard for a little bit of a clue, 50-year-old woman. He said he'd tried to contact me by phone and email, but I hadn't received it. She had received it, but it came just under half an hour before kick-off, or less than an hour before kick-off of the York game, so she'd left home. She was here. Yeah, she was here. And I have seen a copy of the generic from tickets at. It's not a signed by a named person. Said he tried to contact me by phone, but I hadn't reached it. He said that. He then said, due to an altercation at the last game, I was banned. I wasn't told why, how long for, or what to do about it. Still haven't. I went home and the email came through. It said it was sent at 6:15 yesterday. She said, I also bought a Portsmouth ticket yesterday. That wasn't blocked. And one of her concerns was that her 13-year-old son had gone in the ground ahead of her. Yeah. So he was in the ground. And so she was a little bit worried about that on a night match and everything. Yeah. Now, generally, from a safeguarding point of view, 13 is deemed as the age where you've got some responsibility by yourself, but everybody's different. Yeah. And at this time, this person had got a safeguarding issue that wasn't allowed, but couldn't be addressed. So, and then a little bit later, she thought a little bit more about it and said, I think I know what's going on. After talking to some of the lads, one of the stewards told her son it was because I swore at her. And she said, I actually swore at somebody else, not the staff, somebody else. I'll not name the person. Long story, but it was somebody we don't get on. And he was saying, calm down, sweetheart, and I lost my temper with him. So it wasn't a member of staff, it was somebody who has been obviously some sort of family feud with in the past. And she's actually sent me a copy of her apology to him that she sent. And he said, thank you for apologising. I apologise as well if I came across that way. I appreciate the fact that you messaged me to say sorry. So that's sort of, not that it's a club issue and everything. So I said that. I said, if you've not heard anything back in 7 days from the club, let me know. Yeah. And 7 days was up today. Yeah. One of the reasons I said up to, and she's not heard anything back. So the email that came through, find it. club. It's hello, Mrs. So-and-so. I write to you with regards to the allegations about your behaviour towards catering staff at the end of the recent catering fixture, the SMH. We've tried on numerous occasions to contact you with regard to the issue and the process we are currently in. We're currently gathering pertinent information from match day staff. This process is somewhat slow due to staff only working part-time on match days. The process is completed and is in the interest of health and safety. Just go, it's not. Oh, here we go. Until the process is completed and in the interest of health and safety, your ticket for the York City match has been locked. Chesterfield FC has a duty of care to both fans and staff. We hope this matter will be resolved in due course. So that was sent on. It was 18:43. Yeah. So she said 15:15, but it was 15:45. So an hour and 2 minutes before kickoff. So she was here and didn't see it until she got home. I reported it to a member of staff face to face. And sort of said, can you let me say to the person, let me know in some days. She's not heard anything. So I asked her if she wanted to formally raise a complaint. She said yes, can you formally raise a complaint? So it's a communication issue.
Innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah, there's that
There is one side of the story.
Yes.
They've not interviewed her.
Correct.
No.
Have they?
No.
Which they should have done.
Yeah.
I think history says communication between club and supporters leaves a lot to be desired anyway, and has done for years.
I think that's ridiculous. I mean, I know
Agree,
there's
yeah.
something wrong. I agree with
Yeah.
what they've done, but she's never had the chance to answer that.
No. And if her son had been 12, it would have been a major safeguarding issue. She felt it was a safeguarding issue anyway.
He was still inside there and wondering where's my mum?
Yeah.
What's happened to my mum?
He's still under the age where he shouldn't be allowed to attend 11.
13 is the age
Yeah.
generally allowed.
What's it say on our ticketing system? So
Not
I
sure.
thought you had to be.
Not
Yeah,
sure.
No, I think it's.
But-
I thought you had to be at least 40.
But the world of safeguarding, and I've
Yeah.
spoken to our safeguarding officer about this, he says 13 is the accepted age
Yeah.
generally.
So I know we've got a minimum age for
Yeah.
children to attend alone.
Yeah.
And it's not 13. It's not
Right.
even that.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. It's
I-
occupancy on the terms and conditions of
Yeah, no, it's-
sale. But if somebody's concerned about that should be addressed. Even if it was pull him out and go home. That was an issue. But do people feel that the point that you make around the innocent until proved guilty, she's not had a chance to have her say?
I'm done completely wrong.
I would say why couldn't that have been sorted on the, why couldn't they have told her that at the time? It doesn't really have to start.
Well,
If
the
that
thing
was case,
is,
they should have made that complaint there and said,
Sorry, it's under
you're not coming
12.
to the next game.
Yeah. No, I felt it could have been sorted out there and then, and she'll have been wound up. You all get wound up with anything like that. wouldn't
Did
you?
she stay in the game?
No, she didn't get into the game. She
No,
wasn't
I mean,
allowed.
did she stay in the game when the offence happened, if you like?
Catherine, yeah.
She stayed
Oh
in
yeah.
the match.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes. What's the
She wasn't sort of kicked
She wasn't
out.
kicked out.
No.
It was a result of, and she said, "Yeah, I did get a bit leery and all that sort of stuff." But and the irony was that the member of staff had sorted it.
Yeah.
It was sorted.
Decided they wanted to get involved with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does she get a refund for not getting that?
Well, who knows? Who knows?
She ought to be getting more than that. She ought to be getting invited hospitality.
Mm.
Because the clubs, my opinion alone, but they're completely wrong.
Mm.
We try to encourage supporters and younger supporters, and that's not helping it.
Mm.
I can only say,
But it's-
luckily, it's not gone
Yeah.
on social media.
But it is the burger did. I don't know if the details got on. I'm
not all the
seeing-
details. I
Well,
don't
the burger
think, but,
picture.
yeah. But
But we've seen lots of pictures of burgers.
the thing is that they had, that was from the catering game.
Yeah.
So that was.
Yeah.
the
Well,
14th.
they'd have obviously wanted to talk to staff at the Gateshead game, which didn't occur. So the Gateshead game didn't occur. But there
But
again,
it's
you
a
go
week
out
and
your
a
way.
half.
So she's assuming she won't get into Portsmouth, but she's got a ticket as opposed to a season ticket.
But they could still have cancelled that.
Yes, they could.
But if she only bought that on the Monday, the day before the,
I don't know when she bought it.
I think it said it. I think
Well,
she said
she just said she'd already bought it.
bought it the day before, but yeah.
But it's the speed on anything like that. Well, the next game that she's not going to, is Barnet. Well, can I come to the Barnet game? What's what? And then we have to take her word for it that when she was getting Larry, it was actually somebody who she didn't get on with, not a member of staff. And of course, somebody might have overheard and just assumed it was still with the member of staff. You don't know.
Yeah.
Because you can imagine if it's somebody you don't really like being a bit
Well, the member of staff might have said it was.
yeah.
It was
Or they kicked off effing and jeffing.
Could we ask that the club accepts that since its investigation is not yet complete, that no action is taken pending completion of that investigation? Suspend any tickets that have already been acquired, might otherwise be available, without prejudice to the finalisation of their investigation.
I just can't believe that. I mean, that was a week ago, and 2 days ago, the last match, and they've still not got hold of her.
Well, they hadn't, as in earlier on today or
but
back in the last night, whenever it was.
Her email obviously works.
Yeah, clearly does.
So that is ridiculous that they've not even. Well, I don't find it surprising.
If she's got a ticket at Portsmouth match, how's that happened then?
Well, you could just go up and buy a ticket. No, do you have to say, even if you buy a ticket, you still have to
want your season
say you are,
season
don't you?
ticket,
If you want your seat,
Well, it's your own seat,
you've got to go on a separate area on.
Yeah. Well, of course, if she the day of the match, so if she bought it the day before, it hadn't been cancelled at that point, had it? But what I don't really, the thing, funnily enough, that bugs me most about it is it's come from a nebulous source that there's no, you don't know who you want to talk to.
Yeah.
It's come from Tickets Out.
Yeah.
So if somebody's banning me, can I speak to Mr. Tickets, please?
Yeah.
Oh, we haven't got a Mr. Tickets here. Well, he's certainly
Surely that decision should be Mr. Tickets anyway.
Yeah.
It'd be somebody sitting a little bit higher at the table.
Yes.
No.
Yeah. So the general feeling in here, I don't know if anybody made a comment online, Marcia. The general feeling on here is we ought to sort of say, right, this needs to be done. And in the meantime, if you've not concluded your actions, can you make sure she's entitled to get to the Portsmouth game at
It
least?
sounds like somebody needs to phone the club, come find me when they want to buy from.
Yeah, you can also find that.
We turn up at Portsmouth match and go,
Mm.
don't work. What do you got?
Turn up with a long wig on and a tall hat and a bell, 60 tattoos on your chest.
Last week.
Yeah, I know where you're going with that. Yeah.
Well, I was lucky enough.
And the lack of deodorant.
I've never stood that close to him. This is important. I was lucky enough to be at the game at Old Trafford when David Beckham scored that free kick to qualify for Euros or World Cup or whatever it was against Greece, last minute goal. Massive cheer, and we were sitting right in line where it went in Old Trafford. But the second biggest cheer of the day was when Mr. Portsmouth Clapper fell out of his bell. And went flying across there, and nobody had given it back. Yeah. So we had most of the game with no bell. Which was terrific.
To be honest, having met him, I mean, he's a very nice bloke to chat to, but he doesn't even cover it.
Yeah. It's John
Westwood.
John Portsmouth Football Club Westwood.
Yeah, it's an antique book deal, actually.
Such is life. So right, okay. Well, I'll pick up on that in the morning. I'll pick up on that in the morning, and then at least make sure that she's able or not able to go to Portsmouth. She's not, if they're not going to hire her in, but
she needs to know before instead of getting here and then
And to be
finding
issued
out.
refund for the tickets,
Yeah.
which they can bought on top of the season ticket.
Yeah, because you can't get a miss game back, can you? You can't. You can't get a missed game back.
No.
So, right, they are the responses and the new formal things that have come in since the last meeting. And of course, we had our committee meeting, the Forums committee meeting, only a couple of weeks ago, 21st of October, so not very, very long ago, and reported most of the stuff through there. We had a couple of comments added to the minutes that we put out after the meeting, which was about egress and stewards and everything along those lines, which has been taken on board. I'm not expecting any answers.
No, to the point where they're refusing egress to a gentleman in a wheelchair with his carer.
Yeah.
You know, when I approached them, you know, they may have known I was a member of the forum and what had been said, and I said, can you tell me who has instructed you to keep these gates closed? No.
Yeah, Tony,
Yeah.
get him in.
Yeah. Anyway, so right, has anybody here got any questions? We've got a gentleman who's making his debut. I don't know if he just come to.
Yeah, just come to me nosy.
All right. I always thought. Yeah, well, welcome. Hope your nosiness is rewarded by the and they say, all right. Anybody you wanted to bring something?
Yeah, I wasn't here for last week.
Yeah. So we noted it. Another mess in your hand.
Yeah. Previously, one of the discussion about the bus breaking down towards Altrincham, a suggestion was made that police could be contacted.
Yeah.
Well, police don't have any coaches these days, kind of way to put it. But I had thought that if they were that way, where pre-approaches could be made, would be Andrews of Time.
Well, they have got reciprocal. We did hear at the meeting here. They've got reciprocal agreements with school. You know more about this than
I worked in the industry for many, many years. As did yourself, and you were coach driving actually, and
For these what?
the Chesterfield Transport, yeah.
No, for Chesterfield Football Club.
Yeah, but you did work for Chesterfield.
Oh, yeah, for Chesterfield Transport, yeah.
And throughout the country, there's a network of for companies to help them in the case of a breakdown when they're far from home.
Yeah.
And obviously, little afraid of BI, just don't do this.
Well, they do. They've got it. And the issue was, and I don't know if the last time you were here we got to the bottom of it, but replacement bus number one that was had an issue on the way. So the one that arrived late was bus number two, and that's not the two of the day. It's the two for the second one, and then that had an issue. So it was bus number three. So I think it had got that far down the line that number three driver didn't even know who we were driving for. Yeah, he's just been told to go there and go there.
Yeah.
So he didn't know. But the worst thing of all was there was nobody on the office number at Will Ferry to Beehive that were answering that could do something about it. And I am assured that I don't know if it was on this set of minutes or the previous minutes that the bus company or the coach company have been agreement. But more importantly, Gaff, the stewards on the bus. Because if the stewards on the bus don't know about that,
well, yeah,
they can't push it.
I text Liz today.
Yeah.
And she said she's heard no more. And I said at that meeting, we suggested that police be contacted. And I said at the time, police don't have any coaches.
Yeah, they've just got buses.
But they've got buses to a very decent standard now.
Well, I've seen one today.
Yeah, they've got virtually brand new ones.
Yeah.
They've got a 23 range I saw the other day.
Yeah.
Well, I caught the bus into town today, and I don't catch buses very often. And the bus I was going to catch didn't turn up. But, so I walked into Claycross to get another bus, and then there was an old timer there who was moaning like because his bus hadn't turned up. And I sort of said something, well, you never know, it might be, the rubbish stagecoach, bring back Trent. Bring back Trent, he was saying. And then he got short shrift from me. And he moved to another bus station. He was talking to me, and the quote of the day, I almost put it on social media, but I didn't. The quote of the day was, if I didn't have a free bus pass, I wouldn't give him a penny.
I do know that there is big issues with Hooley's where is it the 8:30 bus from Chesterfield to Chatsworth?
Yeah.
Very rarely turns up.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But I'm old enough to remember from the right end of town to remember what their buses used to be like. And yes, Sharabang was too good a term for someone.
Yeah.
But they've got some decent buses now.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
have.
but the issue is they haven't got any coaches.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they're not a coach company anymore, are they?
No.
So, and of course now Lisa's left, of course. I don't know who is going to be in charge of the, I don't know if you know, do you know? No? Anybody know?
No.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll ask the question.
Yeah, I don't even know
Well, I mean,
if they've filled Lisa's position, yeah.
They've advertised them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who's in charge of True Trouble now? Is it-
Relevant, the booking in advance for the True Blue coaches went as far as Southend,
Yeah.
perhaps a month ago, and walking, which is 2 days afterwards, is still not appeared on the website.
Oh, right, yeah, that's
So
a that's
it's getting
night,
urgent
yeah.
that somebody
Yeah.
sort something
Oh,
out.
right, well, okay,
Well,
yeah.
somebody sorted a settlement with Southend, so.
Yes, saw that.
somebody's doing something.
Lovely.
Yeah, the second bus for Southend I've seen has gone on, but yeah, won't because we're going away for a few days and we're away while both those games are on.
Walking,
At the games, we're not away, we're away, so we're closer to Woking and
Yeah.
Southend.
walking is 2 days later, so
Yeah,
that time.
yeah. Yeah, when,
Given that I think I booked the Southend one, maybe 6 weeks ago.
and talking about things, has everybody seen that the Barnet away game is now at 5:30?
Yeah. Televised, yeah.
20th of January.
20th of January is now picked for telly.
Solihull.
Yeah, let's still say that's no change to kick off, isn't it?
And that's a
Because that's
home
a-
game.
yeah.
It's a shame it wasn't Boxing Day.
So, is it the Solihull here or the Solihull
Solihull
there?
here.
Yeah, but Barnet's been announced today.
Yeah.
At 5:30, which is no surprise. You know, we all knew that.
Yeah,
So-
I'm quite surprised it wasn't put on for
Well,
in a
it's doing
couple of
it,
weeks, you know. But yeah,
So yeah, we'll find his head honcho, and it may be whoever's going to be appointed to succeed Lisa, who's not been appointed yet, but there'll be an interim. So yeah, and Woking's a long way you want to be sorted, don't you, on Woking? So okay, any questions? Yes,
The pathway to Tesco.
that one's down
over
here.
there, yeah. It's been brought up before about blocking the car park space off so you can get onto it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you've got to walk round. I mean, other night there was an big SUV there, was back basically over the back end of it.
Yeah.
And you're walking across sludgy grass to get to it because any disabled.
Yeah.
But before.
Because they broke the ramp got broken.
Yeah, they broke that, yeah. But before, obviously, it was an old number. And
Yeah.
somebody got that.
so it
back
just
in
needs to be hatched
now
off,
there's no
doesn't it?
numbers.
Yeah,
So it could easily be marked off now.
Yeah.
No parking.
I did actually. I think I might have missed on the. Yes, I did miss off a couple of things on the club had reported. Because saying about that was one of them, because we'd sort of said about the colour coding, and we'd sort of felt the question of whether the colour spots are easily visible in the dark. Now we're getting to matches in the winter, and the club had said this will be addressed at the next home match. So whether they're going to paint them up a little bit brighter or something, I don't know what that means. And I also forgot to mention that they've said about the fan zone, which is still a planning issue. I don't know,
No,
John, you keep your
it's
eye
gone
on it.
through today.
Yeah, the fan zone should hopefully be ready for the Eastleigh fixture, which of course might not be a fixture because that's the second round of the cup day. So if we did,
Oh, so 2nd of December.
We might not be playing. We might not be playing.
Positivity.
Yeah.
Eastleigh.
Yes. Do you know who scored? Who played? A notable FA Cup person played for Portsmouth in our only previous FA Cup match in the 3-0 in '69. There was a very notable FA Cup person played for Portsmouth that day.
What's our fan now?
Did you go?
Yes, I did, yeah.
Yeah, Mike Jabilko. Well,
Oh,
he scored
right.
2 goals for Everton next
Yeah.
Wednesday in '66. So I didn't know that until I was doing some research the other day. But there you go.
Yeah, when they beat Sheffield Wednesday, yeah.
2-0 down, 1-3-2.
Yeah.
So what way to Tesco's on Park? So yeah, we could do is certainly in the week that to be blocked off somehow. I'm not quite sure. Is only really a cone or something?
Really, it wants to be just an old parking space.
Yeah,
Yes.
just needs some paint on it to
Yellow
block it
line.
off, doesn't
Yellow
it?
cross hatch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or as you say, you're saying 2 or 3 cones then.
It's same at daytime, if a lot of people around it, it's usually blocked off.
Yeah.
No people walking across grass.
Yes.
But it's not much
Was
point
there
having
anything-
traffic, you can't go on it, is it?
With that bit as well, was there any feedback about they were going to turn the camera around to have a look.
Don't know,
in
not,
case
not heard from Tony on that.
of
You're right, they're driving across the,
yeah.
the grass.
Tesco police in the AM car.
Yes.
They are.
Yeah, definitely now it's you can book a spot in advance through Just Park or somebody, but it's £10 again.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
You could get one.
So Tesco.
You could before. You could always
Asda
book
and
through
Donkey
Just Park, but
Derby.
it's gone from £3.50 to £10.
Yeah. I think it's £6 or £7 for Asda and Donkey Derby as well. But they're all available through.
So you
Just
can book at the
Park.
Donkey Derby. So,
Yeah.
oh, right, okay.
You don't have to go in. If you have a meal in there, I think it's free.
It is, yeah.
Oh, sure
But
it is.
you can, but for the match as well. But if you can just park there and using
And can you
Just
book in
Park.
advance on that? or-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, right, okay.
there's a few Just Park type website things.
Well,
If
I
it-
just used to back on Tesco's and not pay already.
Yeah.
Never get trouble is to come just before kick off and go.
Yeah, straight
Yeah.
after.
You know, that's like
Yeah.
just over 2 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
But then when it went to £10, I go park it.
I'm 10 minutes extra time.
Well, Tesco. So, and now they've got a camera, haven't they?
Yeah, it's ANPR camera
I
now.
don't know whether it's working. or not.
Yeah.
it is. They've
But I saw
definitely-
it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
done.
Adam Collins confirmed
Yeah,
it.
my
Yeah.
daughter-in-law works there, and they've all had to register the cars.
For staff.
Park down again,
Yeah.
I'm Clark.
What do they do on this side now? Because that's barried off most of the time. So do they not use that at all?
They started, as our crowds got bigger, all that car park at the back is barriered off on match days.
Well, you can get it.
You can
Oh,
get
get in
in.
that way, where the
You
ramp
go
is.
through that way, to the back of the side of bypass. And come under bypass and come on. But the barriers are down, except for the last one. And the barriers are across the way.
Yeah, you just have
Of
to
course, what you
go.
don't know is if your gun barrier's going to be down at the end when you try to get out. That
Well,
might
not usually, no.
tempt them in and shut it down. But I mean, what's we've got a parking spot here. So with the bigger crowds, what's parking like? What is it like? Is it still, if you know what you're doing, is it all right? Is it a problem if you don't know what you're doing?
I park on Sheffield Road now, as near to opposite Stan Road as I can, but I've got to park there at least hour and a half before kick off.
I'll say that. I'm Clark's, I park down there, I've got to be an hour before.
Yeah.
What more
Whereas I used
pressure?
to be able to
Lot
get
more.
attention.
Yeah.
Well, there ought to be. It's twice as many people as used to come. So
Yeah.
We park behind Chester's and that's for Liverpool a lot quicker.
Yeah,
Yes.
since sister member of your family goes and gets a job at Tesco.
Yeah. Oh, great.
and get them on get the insurance on their car.
Okay, just get their car locked in.
There you go. Nigel Goodlad says.
It's not Tesco, is it, that's doing it, it's an independent.
Yeah, but it's
When it's an independent one, they'll chase it.
Yeah.
And we can have all sorts of arguments about whether they're allowed to and all that sort of stuff. It's all the hassle, isn't it?
It's not hassle, yeah.
It's all the hassle. With it. If somebody could find out what the app is that you can book in Tesco, I'd just be interested because
Just
I'm sure it's just
Just
park.
Just Park.
Just
Well,
Park.
like I say, there's
Thank you. Yeah,
or parking spaces.
Yeah.
I think is another one.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
No, I
I've never.
didn't until all this came up. I mean, I just parked there.
I think at the moment they've got it. The
Your
bit that's
parking
just by
space,
the
yeah.
petrol station is where they've got the. So there's only a limited amount of tickets.
Places around where you are.
Oh, it uses your location.
Yeah.
All right,
Click on
all
whichever one you want.
right.
I think in fact you can park at Sainsbury's as well
That's a
using
welcome
that.
one,
But yeah, there's.
I was on the subject of parking. Anyone in the season I asked about whether the club had inquired about the council yard.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chester's. Years back when Cookie was last year, I remember
Yeah, no, I remember you saying.
that used to be opened up on Saturdays, match days. You had to be back sharpish after the match.
Because it shut it.
They would shut it.
Yeah.
But
Oh, just to worry me at Wickham Wanderers, where you're going to that industrial estate, and you park in at night, to sort of say these gates will be shut at 10 o'clock, and you're still queuing up to get out at about 10:30. I was like, oh, somebody's not going to come, just do it now. Get out.
Still playing extra time.
We would never change of going out of town.
Yeah, but if it's a 6 o'clock or something like that, you can't hang around and have a pint down the
No, you
back
have to go
house.
straight back to your car and maybe if you come from the pint from there.
Yeah, okay, any more? And then we'll ask if there's anybody on.
Yeah,
online.
I've got.
Oh, right, well, let's take the online ones down.
Well, Dale said, could 1866 Sport Radio channel have a phone in for fans to offer opinions or questions to you or the players, Phil?
Well, I'll ask you that, Dale. The answer at the moment is no, because we've not got the technological capability to make that happen. That's not to say that it won't ever happen in the future, but we don't have the technological capability to take phone in straight after the match on the equipment that we've got. So that's the rationale at the moment. And yeah, there may have to be changes next year, assuming we go up to the EFL. If we don't, because commentary on EFL is all behind paywalls and everything along those lines. So we're not going to change anything significantly now, because we might have to change things significantly at the end of the season. So, but the capable, which is what, while we ask for views on social media, because at least people can put their views over on social media, but the kit and the capability we've got at the moment doesn't enable phone calls to occur, if you know what I mean. So, okay, yeah.
And another one is, why is the discount in hospitality so small for season ticket holders?
Yeah.
And somebody else has said, yeah, if you've bought your season ticket, you've got your seat. Yeah. So why are you having to pay for a ticket twice?
Yeah, and we've had this conversation before, and it's 5% because it's 5%. We didn't sort of, and of course they're not going to change it mid-season, I think. So it's up to us to do if we feel it's worth lobbying for the start of next season.
Sorry,
but of course,
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear the question.
the hospitality discount for season ticket holders is only 5%, and it used to be bigger than that.
Yeah.
But of course, if you pass your own season ticket on to somebody else, it's a 5% discount.
Yeah.
If you don't pass your season ticket on to somebody else, it's a 5% discount, but you've already paid 20 quid.
Yeah.
So it's whether you pass your ticket on to somebody else, because it's a genuine discount if you do that.
And because the club at the moment can't quite work out how to sell the ticket on to somebody else.
Yeah, secondary market.
They're still trying to work that out.
Yeah. Well, we the view of this body was we didn't think 5% was generous enough.
No.
But the club had sort of said, well, we were losing £1 million last year, so we've got to do something. So, but it's a discount if you pass on your season ticket or your season ticket to somebody else. At least you do get a discount in that. But if you don't, you're out of pocket.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay.
That's it on here at the moment.
Ticket. I've got the Spire Lotto and got two free tickets to any home match, and I stress any home match. I'm a season ticket holder, so it's pretty useless to me for me.
Yeah.
So I come
And you're only mate?
I come along. I don't matter. They're going in for nothing, but they shouldn't be paying. Right. So I went to the ticket office or to main entrance. No, you can't use that for a cup match. Because the FA owns them.
Yeah, no, yeah. So just say any match, does it?
I said, well, I'm not going to do it, but you may as well take it off me and rip it up because it is absolutely no good.
So any match.
Why you can't say that for you can either have two tickets.
League match.
Yeah.
Or
No, they should say that. Well, it's still no good to you.
no.
It's either two tickets or a good discount in the club shop or something free. But
No,
you've
with the
got
FA Cup,
absolutely
you can't
like-
give comps away.
It's like brand new customers only, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And most people that will be in the spot almost have a season ticket.
Yeah.
But no, I only found out a year or two ago that the absolute rules on complimentary tickets for FA Cup games, and it's like over my dead body.
So why does it not say that?
Well, we'll
It says-
we ought
it says
to.
on the
We'll
ticket
pick
and
up on
on the
that.
internet,
Yeah, we'll pick up
everywhere
on
it
that.
says for any home match, not league match, any home match.
Well,
And there's you know, could they maybe do it? Well, we can give you 2 tickets for an away match then, maybe.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Maybe.
but then they'd have to pay for them.
Oh,
wouldn't they?
yeah.
But
But
if you
yeah.
work it out, 2 tickets for a home match could be worth 48 quid.
yes,
Mm,
And if it'd be a season ticket holder,
yeah,
it's nothing.
yeah,
So better off with 25 quid voucher for sure.
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. Well, that's a good, very good
Yeah.
point. And he's probably said
So I've
in
got
that show.
2 tickets. I could have gone to the first round, I couldn't, second round, I couldn't, but I can't.
He could get FA Trophy when me and Nigel are playing up front.
Yeah. Just hope they register us.
Yeah. Well, if we win, you get chucked out.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think the players without registering,
Yeah.
and in case we do have a good
Yeah.
game and win, at least you get chucked out. Yeah.
I'll just check about Threckleton if Sheffield United are allowing him to play.
Oh right, yeah.
Because we do have history.
We've had several bits of history. Stockport County, Jordan Cropper, George Margreiter,
Yeah.
and way back to 1919, Frank McPherson, who played for Barrow Shipyards.
Yeah.
I think Chantel's.
Before we whooped the South Normanton
Yeah.
5-1.
And of course Jim Brown in Football League.
Yes. Well, that was a slightly different set of circumstances
Wait,
for Jim Brown, because that was about the postman.
yeah.
Approved, so that's why it was replayed
Yeah.
rather than
Yeah.
points deducted. So
But we won it again.
yeah, we are. By the way, we're the only football club in history that's played a football league game in its entirety and had it played again, and played an FA Cup game in its entirety and had it played again. There's no other club in. Well, we're the only one in the football league. Nobody's
Yeah.
ever done it in the football league before.
Yeah.
So, but we've done it in the cup several times as well, or twice. So. Yeah, no. So it was Wolves. It was Wolves with Margreiter, and that was
MK Dons, wasn't it?
MK Dons,
Yeah.
and the emphasis is actually on the lending club to send the lecturing, believe it or not the borrowing club, the lending club. Anyway, Paul Cook and whoever it was at Wolves agreed about Margreiter at 5 o'clock one day, and they both went to their respective offices and they all gone home, and then he forgot next morning to mention it. So that was how he came. The permission was granted, and there was a permission, but it wasn't. Wolves didn't write the letter granting it. But, hey, so there you go. Start off for not checking as well. But then I'm not sure. I never really got to the bottom of the Cropper one. I think Jamie was on. They had gone on holiday or something.
Yeah, it just wasn't going to
Just didn't work with it. Okay, any more?
Tickets for away matches.
Yes.
There's not very much on the website at the moment,
No, there isn't.
but we're looking for some for South End.
Mhm.
I couldn't find anything. I did see something that was saying something about you could only buy them actually at the ground
Yeah, on the day sort
on
of
the
thing.
day. But then with that, we're actually booked on the coach. People booked on coaches
Mm,
and get down there.
mm.
Can you be sure that you'll actually be able
Yeah, well, I think Southend's a little bit like Notts County in that they've
3,000 or
they've got a
something like
significant
that.
away area that they could allocate to away from us to sell them because we take a commission out of it. So I'm not saying not just Southend, that's everybody. But they've got a good capacity for away fans.
They
haven't they?
probably want cash only at the moment.
Yeah, I think.
Well,
Can I say that?
I thought this season, I thought there was something about the way allocations dropping this season because of parts of the ground being.
Being written off.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, well, that could be a
Yeah.
good point actually. Yeah, check. Yeah.
I mean, it might just be that if once the coach is
Yeah.
booked up,
Yeah.
is there any way that the club could tell them how many are actually booked on the coach?
Yeah.
And then they hold on to that number of tickets down there.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably have to show a ticket to prove that you'd actually been on the coach, but.
Mm. Yeah, it's and there's nothing on for Woking, is there yet? And that's less of a. And I know it's a long way and it's a nightmare, so it'll not be huge. Yeah, but now the away ticket. this season, that's for sure.
Is there any way it can be added to our website when we need to purchase from their website?
Of course there is.
Because we do still see.
But it's got to be done.
We still seem to have people popping up on social media going, I've not seen anything about tickets for X. And then somebody who's not with an official person from the club popping up and telling them, well, we've had our tickets ready, it's been on
Yes.
sale. You have to
Well,
buy
we've had the ones where people have bought them direct from the club and then they've gone off sale. Well, Dorking was one of those. Oxford, I think, was one, wasn't it?
You could also get Luke Thurston to do it on his fans guide to the way travel.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Although
could do
but that's only a couple of days
days
before the game.
Yeah, but it doesn't need to be. It's only because that's when Luke does it.
Fans 1,200, but they have
Southend.
But they have the whole stand, which is 2,000 seats. So
That's not going to be a problem for a televised match, is it?
Of course, it's on telly, isn't it?
yeah, I think 1,200 is plenty. To be
Is
fair,
it
to
in November? It's a
Southend.
November game, it's not December. It's
18th of
November.
Yeah,
November.
it's coming up soon.
Week after Barnet, isn't
A
it?
few days ago, walking.
Yes. Yeah.
That's quite.
Well, then that's the question: is Woking in November or December?
Walking's quite.
I know we're
very
away,
steep
but-
stand where you sit.
Yes, it's on the end, isn't it? Where it's at Woking. Yeah. Which the disabled toilets, they actually have to go outside the ground to go round.
Yeah, it's called a bush.
There you go. Yeah, that the whole way, even if it's just good old fashioned, just go to Southend and buy a ticket at Southend. Say that.
Yeah.
I think that's a
Just
very.
so that
I think that's
information's all there.
I think that's a valid point. Yeah, I think that's a valid point.
It should have been put up with, Southend coach tickets are on sale.
Yeah,
The tickets can only be purchased from the ground on the day, or whatever.
The problem at the time was that booking the travel was okay. You didn't risk booking anything in Southend because it was early October when they were.
They might not be in
possibly going
there.
under.
Yeah, they might not be there. Well, it's still not happened, does it? To be honest, a takeover, is it really? But that linking in with True Blue Travel actually isn't a bad idea. That. Yeah, which doesn't help for Woking because that's not.
I mean, sometimes on the Chesterfield site it gives you an email addressing
Yeah,
and
so-
link to
yeah.
the tickets of the away club.
Yeah. No, so sadly, I'm probably oblivious of a lot of these things because to get Sylvia's tickets, you have to go through hoops backwards on anything. So we always have to go through hoops backwards anyway. So I don't really look at normal channels as often.
Approval next season.
Yeah. Well, at big clubs like Forest Green and Salford. Yeah, when we played that one and only game Saturday at Forest Green, it was we've only got 2 wheelchair places. Not 2. Well, we've got some others, but they're out of order at the moment. They need a bit of work doing to them. All right, so if your normal terracing had been out of order, you wouldn't have bothered doing it. So anyway, shocking. I think they heard my voice at more than 10 decibels and still we got in all right. We all wish we'd not gone.
You did raise your voice in your band,
Yeah.
Yeah, mate, it was shocking. It was shocking. Okay, well, you've got time to think of something. The annual fan survey, and those of you who know that my wife uses a wheelchair knows that I'm sort of pushing about barriers to attending for disabilities and everything. But there's an organisation called Level Playing Field that pushes for it's a pressure group.
Yeah.
Not sure how effective they are as a pressure group, but they're certainly making known what issues are.
They're asking the right questions.
They're asking all the right questions, and I know the chair, Tony Taylor. I've known Tony for 20 years. And their annual fan survey 2023 has just come out this last 48 hours or something like that.
Yeah.
And I thought it'd be a good appendix to. I don't know, it's 27 pages and all that. But the barriers to attending on the we asked respondents to identify all the disability-related barriers they face when attending live sport. The 10 most selected barriers are shown below. So one is physical access at stadiums, 29.5%. But unfortunately here, that's not a particularly big issue. But we can't control Oxford City.
No.
Attitude of others, I'm not entirely here when they go in, but yeah, you get a bit of that, but I don't think you get any more of that or less than that in the
It did read
accessible
that
areas.
quite a high proportion did get abused, didn't it?
Yeah,
When
yeah,
you
yeah,
visit that.
it-
I was
it-
surprised.
it-
when
yeah,
they've not got,
yeah,
particularly when they've got not obvious disabilities,
Yeah.
and very often the abuse and lack of sympathy came from club stewards.
yeah, and you know the attitude is about training. I think you know
Yeah.
I think all we can really sort of say, well, we just hope that all the stewards are trained in all of these sort of.
Yeah.
But it's down. It's down on last year
Mm.
on that as an issue. It's still number 2 issue,
Yeah, it was.
but it's down this year. Difficulty purchasing tickets is 23.5% down, and it can be a right nightmare. Yeah, I absolutely get that. I think it's not very often we've given up, but I can understand people giving up, and I don't think it's a big deal, but I don't know. I've never tried to buy tickets other than for ourselves here, and I know who to ask.
Yeah, but we've more than enough accommodation to
We've got
accommodate
plenty of
disabled
accommodation.
people here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We've probably got more than anybody else in the division.
Yeah, there's probably we have got it more than anyone else in the division. That's absolutely for sure. And we're one of only 6 or 7 clubs in the top 5 divisions that have got the requisite 1% wheelchair space. So I know wheelchair users aren't only disability users, but it's about training. And we talked about at the last full committee meeting, not the drop-in, about we heard about the safeguarding training that everybody was getting on. And so the training that people get is very, very good. You've then got anxiety or lack of confidence. Well, lots of that down to the individual. So you can try and make people confident in the football ground, but it's that's something that you can't necessarily, apart from making it
Anxiety
really
in
easy.
last 2 seasons, we've all had to deal with it. So.
Yeah, inaccessible. Not much a football club can do about that. Then number 6 was, I think stadiums are inclusive for disabled people. Well, a lot of them aren't, but a lot of them are.
Yeah.
And they're waiting to unable to travel to the stadium, 18%. Well, yeah, I get that. Cost of attending, 17%. Well, I bet that's the same. I bet if we asked anybody, ability that to be an issue. Lack of information, massive problem. There are a number of times that we've tried to go to places and there's just no information. So you end up having to phone somebody, and then you might phone somebody who doesn't know. We were up in Scotland for a few days. There was a boat trip on the Firth of Forth, and on the website it said at the top, not wheelchair accessible, and it said at the bottom, wheelchair accessible, on the same page. So you go through a third-party booking agent. By the way, is it wheelchair? Absolutely. He said, "Are you sure?" Because it does say this. Oh, I'll contact the tour operators now. So, yes, I've checked. Just didn't feel confident. Phoned next morning to the director of the operator, who didn't sell the tickets. But I said, we booked on the 1 o'clock trip. Is it to know the tides are on at 1 o'clock? It isn't accessible at 1 o'clock. Well, the 11 o'clock is. So yeah, you do have to go through processes like that quite often. That lack of support from club staff. Well, I don't think there's particularly lack of support from club staff on that. But it's a great thing if you get a chance to have a look at it, and it's the sort of stuff that a lot of people take for granted. And we are lucky here. We're not perfect.
Have you had sight of the club's individual report?
No.
Because every club is sent an individual report.
I know. I don't know if they're all out yet, but when I did see about respondents from the National League, it was minuscule. Minuscule, which is a real pity. But it might be like nobody responded to Chesterfield supporter. I don't know. I think I did. I did it. But we did it. But there you go. Okay, any more online?
Yeah, we've got, will both sets of turnstiles in the East End be open on Sunday, or are away fans in the East End?
Away fans are definitely not in the East End.
So,
I can't answer whether both sets of turnstiles will be open, but there are no away fans in the East End. So, don't know. When Can anybody think back? When was the last match? Oldham? What did they do with Oldham?
Very often when we've got a high attendance of away fans that are using the North Stand, and particularly if there is a reputation from them, barriered
They don't want those.
right across the car park there, and there's no egress after the match at that end of the ground at all. So they would, in that case, there'd be no point in opening them.
I suspect that those at the away end won't be open. I don't know that, but there are no away fans in that end. But there is in block 1 and 2 there is a camera gantry in there. But I also think some of the players' families and everything are in block 1 and 2. I think.
I got to say this season the pre-match queuing to get into the stand has not been as bad. People have been heeding advance and coming earlier.
Yeah, definitely. Now it's a funny one Saturday because it's 12:15 kick-off. People might not be able to get here early. So if we're going to have a problem, it'll be Sunday. Yeah, because it is earlier. And
all the season ticket holders will be on paper tickets.
the
cards.
yes, and that we all know that how much problem that.
Yeah, let's not get onto that one. Else we'll be here all night.
Have we done a video? We'll do let's do a video
stuck
quick.
behind somebody swapping their season ticket to get
Yeah, well, City's like. So we guess that the turnstiles at the away end won't be open, but there are no Portsmouth fans in the East Stand. Is the only answer we can give at the moment. And of course, by the time we find out, it's match day, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
okay. Any more?
No, that's it.
Okay. Any more questions here? Any more? Well, we can close the meeting and then just try and talk rubbish afterwards, like we normally do. Thank you. So, okay. Thank you very much. Nice hour. I'll get some notes out on in the next week or so. I'll try and get them out. I'm nipping for a couple of days. For a break.
You're never at home.
And, hopefully, got a ticket for Athletic.
Since you retired, you're never at home.
I know.
You never watched me though.
No.
I was curled up in a corner.
Yeah.
Right.
Not very many.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
What was our peak audience?
Our peak audience was 42.
Honestly,
Yeah.
42.
There's actually 4 turns down, and there's 4